The Hermetica, The Lost Wisdom of the Pharaohs, written by Timothy Freke and Peter Gandy. Read by yours truly. Chapter 13, The Universal and the Particular. In this chapter, Hermes clarifies how the zodiac makes each individual member of the human species unique. Everything has a form. A table, for example, is a horizontal surface supported by legs. This is the universal form which all tables share. Every individual table shares the universal form of all tables, but it also has a unique particular form by which we know it to be this table and not that one. One table is large and made of oak. Another table is small and made of plastic. Both are unique, yet both are still tables. If anything deviates too far from the universal form, we would no longer call it a table. If a table were to be smashed into pieces, for example, it would have changed form, and we would now call it something else. Firewood, perhaps? Everything is a particular version of a universal form. Every animal, for example, is both unique and a member of a particular species. All human beings share the quality of being human, but each individual has unique characteristics by which we may tell them apart from other members of our species. Each one of us is a particular version of the universal form human being. This quality of humanness is unchanging and permanent. We are very different from our ancestors, but we are no more human. The particular forms are always changing. In a single human life, we change from being a baby to become an adult and finally an elder. We never remain the same, yet birth, mortality, and death are all contained within the universal form of a human life. Hermes compares the constant universal forms to the fixed constellation of the stars. He compares the changing particular forms to the changing relationships between the stars as they revolve in the heavens. Our fundamental human nature remains the same throughout our life, but our individual fate changes in accordance with the constantly changing pattern of the stars. As in astrology, Hermes teaches that our individual destiny is created by the positions of the planets at our moment of birth. These are the gods who take charge of us, controlling our bodies and shaping our souls. The universal and the particular. Adam arranged the constellations of the zodiac in harmony with the movements of nature and charged them with producing all the forms of the animals. When these gods had used their different powers, there emerged four-footed beasts, creeping things, fishes and winged birds, grass and flowering herbs, all according to their different natures, and each containing the seed of the continuance of their species. Every living thing has its own unique form, given to it by the power of the zodiac. This form is appropriate to its species, yet each is individual. The human race, for example, shares a common universal form by which we know that a man is a man, yet all human beings have a distinctly different particular form, of which no two are entirely alike. Each particular form is unique because it inhabits a unique time and place. Excuse me. The particular forms change in every moment of every hour as the gods of the zodiac revolve in their celestial circle. The universal forms do not change just as the constellations remain the same, but instant by instant the particular forms transform as the sphere of heaven changes as it turns. The sky is wet, then dry, cold, then hot, bright, then dark, but these rapidly alternating forms are all subsumed under the universal unchanging form of the sky. The earth is ever-changing, generating, producing, yielding different crops, yet it remains the earth. Water may be standing or flowing, but it is still water. The human body is an earthly temple constructed by the power of the zodiac, which makes myriad forms from simple archetypes. There are 12 signs of the zodiac, and the forms they produce fall into 12 divisions. They are, however, inseparably united in their action. Nature makes the human body so that its constitution resonates with the patterns of the stars in such a way that they mutually affect one another. When we are born, the planetary gods who are at the time on duty as ministers of birth take charge of us. These particular powers that change according to the rotation of the planets make their way in through the body and mold the shape of our souls. They penetrate our nerves and marrow, veins and arteries, even our innermost organs. The Hermetica, 13.